We just absolutely smashed the Lions at the Gabba, at their fortress. The Lions came in undefeated. We dismantled them with our pressure, our pace, our attack, our defensive prowess, and just that classic Collingwood DNA. This is a new series what I'm going to do the day after a game. So it's going to be Swoop's Standouts. I'm going to give you 5 players that stood out, a couple of players that weren't super standouts, but they did their job excellently, and then I want to hear your 3, 2, 1s down in the comments, and I'll pin the best one. But let's get into it. Coming in at number 5, it's the man of the hour, Jamie Elliott. 2 goals. He had 7 marks. He was just everywhere. He kicked 2 goals. It was 2 goals, 3. He wanted that 200th goal. He wanted a goal in his 200th. Really bad. Kicked 3 behinds before he kicked that really nice goal. I love everything about Jamie Elliott. That leadership that he has now, or that title that he has now in that forward line, and to kick 2 on your 200th game is just incredible, in and of itself, right? But today, I just loved his defensive work in the forward line. Without Schultz and stuff, people have to step up. Bobby stepped up a lot. Bo stepped up today as well. We'll talk a little bit about Bo later. But Jamie Elliott, just absolutely incredible. 450 pressure is just second to none. He is our boy. Ned Long coming in at number 4. So Ned Long, he had a breakout game against Sydney last week, and he just went on and did an even, maybe not a better game, but a game that was just as good. 21 disposals, 6 tackles, 3 inside 50s, 5 score involvements. Of those 21 disposals, 7 of them were contested. And what I love about Ned Long is, we talked about it last week, but he just opens up the midfield for everyone in there. Nick Daicos, Pendle, Steele, whoever else is running through the middle, Perryman when he's in there. I hate to say it, and this is, the Ned Long versus Tom Mitchell video. Ned Long might have unlocked more Collingwood potential than we've had in the last couple of years, since the premiership. And we miss Tom Mitchell, we 100% do, but I think with Ned Long, stamping his authority as the Wombat in this side and as that big muscle machine running through, breaking tackles and stuff like that, he's taken our midfield to the next level, and that's why we were up in clearances. That's why we had clearance domination. That's why we were scoring off clearances, and Brisbane just couldn't get anywhere near it. So Ned Long is my number 4 top performer. Number 3, Josh Daicos, 30 disposals, 3 inside 50s, a clearance, a really nice goal, and nearly 600 meters gained. Now, what I love about Josh is his delivery and his composure is probably second to only Nick Daicos in the side at the moment, and maybe Dan Houston, right? They're probably the top 3 composure and delivery by foot. Josh Daicos, he's been moved to that half-back role, and I would still like to see him on a wing. I understand why he's playing half-back, and there are some games where he goes a little bit quiet, but I think this was his best game of the year, for me personally anyway. And look, he might not be, as flashy as Nick, but man, this guy just gets the job done, and he is so elite coming off that half-back line. And, you got to think, without Dan Houston as well, he has to work, Josh Daicos has to work double the amount, and he looks better when Dan Houston is in the side. But for him to do what he did last night against the Lions is just incredible, and that's why he's my number 3 standout. What do Steele Sidebottom and Cher have in common? They both like to turn back time, because Steele Sidebottom is having a career best season, or it's better than his career best season, which I think was 2018, where he ran second in the Brownlow to Tom Mitchell. Could still be a smoky for the Brownlow. I thought he had another really good game. Probably doesn't get all of some votes, but I reckon he's good for 1 Brownlow vote today at least. 26 disposals, 7 inside 50s, a bunch of score involvements, nearly 500 meters gained, I'm pretty sure. So Steele is doing everything that he absolutely can to tell Fly and the coaching staff and the contract guys, hey man, I know I'm 35 or whatever, but I'm playing like a 24-year-old. Give me another contract because I can go again. I have turned back the clock. I have drunk from the fountain of youth. That leadership, that composure, that experience. You can't buy that experience. And Steele Sidebottom has quite literally turned back time, and he is my number 2 performer. Now, number 1 shouldn't surprise anybody. Brisbane said they were going to try and quell his influence. Brisbane said that they wouldn't start with the tag on Nick, but they put Josh Dunkley on him anyway. At the end of the first half, and at the start of the third quarter, they tried Berry on him. That didn't work. Big mistake. Big mistake not shutting down Nick. 38 touches, a goal, 12 scorer involvements, 6 inside 50s, 8 clearances. He was absolutely just everywhere, and over 600 meters gained. Like, this guy is a cheat code, and he's a generational talent. If I was any of the 17 other teams, supporters, no wonder why they send him so much hate and stuff. They're just jealous because they would love this guy in their team, and they can't have him. They cannot have him. This guy, again, is a generational player. He's got the 3 Brownlow votes for me. James Jordan, last week, couldn't tag him. He's the best tagger in the game, couldn't tag him. Brisbane, they didn't pay him enough respect. He goes and does this. And look, this is what happens when you don't tag Nick Daicos. And you know what? This is what happens when you do tag Nick Daicos, because he's going to do it. He knows how to break a tag now. Our boy knows how to break a tag. Simon Black said he reminds him of Ben Cousins in his prime. Oh my God. Bring it on. Bring it on. So now my honourable mentions. Dan McStay kicked 3 goals, took 3 good marks, was just a presence in the forward line, as we know. Brody Mychek as well has gotten into his rhythm after having that bit of a rest for that injury. Another guy I want to talk about, Jack Crisp. Played really like that run off half back and through the middle. But another guy, Bo McCreary, I know I talked about him in my review, but he had 21 pressure acts and 21 pressure acts. He only did have 1 tackle, which is surprising, but I love the pressure that he does bring. Most of his pressure acts were in the defensive half. So imagine him and Schultz again, defensive half pressure, forward half pressure. So he gets another honourable mention. Now, that were my 5 Swoop standouts. Let me know your 3, 2, 1 standouts. And until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double checkers. I'll swoop you later.